welcome back. This is the Gossip Wine Podcast, and this is Decory and Aya. Hey, Decory, what's up?
Nothing. How are you today? This beautiful day. It's hot as fuck, but how are you?
I thought you're gonna say beautiful me, but whatever. Yeah, the day is beautiful. Definitely. I don't know. I'm just struggling with the heat, but all good. Better than winter with snow. Fuck that. Yeah, and hey, to our audience, hey everyone. We actually really missed you. We took a little holiday. If you haven't checked the new episode that we released a couple weeks back on a situationships with beautiful India as our guest, go and just click through that and watch that. That one is for the books. It's literally everyone can relate. So I was like, yeah.
Very
And now
interesting.
we're back with a new topic. Well, not new topic, but what are we talking about? We're actually finishing something that we left off.
Yeah, so we're getting into part two of the toxic relationships that we did. So this should be interesting. It's
Again, everyone can relate here as well.
everybody can relate. I feel like everybody's been in a toxic relationship at least once or twice, maybe more.
Yep. Cheers to Corey from the bottle, bro. Is like at least once or twice we all have been there.
Yeah, everybody's been in one.
Yeah,
Regardless of, I think even things that you don't think is toxic could be toxic.
yeah. I
But
was just about to say, like, even though you didn't realize that you were in toxic relationship, you probably were, because people are like like to get their way, I think. And we talked about last time about manipulation and cheaters and liars and stuff. Also, one of the episodes. If you need to channel, go and check it out if you haven't yet. And again, if you need to channel, subscribe, like, hit notification buttons. Follow us on RSS, YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Yeah,
Spotify.
yeah, I think that's it. And let's just dive into it. Like toxic relationship, we all know what it is. We learned this word toxic. Should have learned it from Britney Spears back in 2007, I want to say. But now it's like more popular and everybody's like talking about it. Sometimes it's going overboard, but then we covered six toxic relation types of relationship last time, and now we have four left. So who's gonna start, the Corey? Paper, scissors, rock.
Yeah. Okay. You.
I put scissors too, so fuck you.
Okay.
But
I
okay,
got
let's go. Like, one of the other toxic relationship types is a crazy competitor, right?
it.
So that person, like, if you go out with crazy competitor, you never win. I'll tell you that. You always find yourself as a loser, and we're not only talking about a goofy way, just like, oh, I win, like whatever. It's kind of cute, but we're talking where you've accomplished as a person something in your life, and a competitor will always try to beat you with that, or not actually be proud with you. Uh, but like put you even down. I don't know. Could be career choices, or lack of confidence or whatsoever. And again, I think it's important to remember that it does not actually reflect how as a person you are, but like on, again, insecurities of the other person. What do you think, Decory?
Yeah, so a little bit of competition is okay. It's not like I think everybody has a friendly competition, but when you take it
Yeah.
overboard to like a toxic level, like you want to be better than your partner, like, oh, I'm better than you because I do this, or I got this, I'm gonna compete with you. That is when, it's like, what's the point at this point? Like, why are you guys talking if you think you're so much better than me? You think you're this much better than me and that you can always beat me in everything. When we're supposed
Yeah,
to
and
be a
I've been
team.
talking, like, we're talking about like serious relationship type.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
else?
yeah. We're supposed to be a team. You shouldn't
Yeah.
be as a team.
Yeah, yeah, right there. That was my point. Like in relationship, you both build something together, right? And you both bring bricks. You cannot just like build the wall and the competitor would be like, I would build it better. So like, bitch, do it then. But they don't do it, and they still like try to put you down. So it's kind of like in between. I don't know, like what was that? Debbie Dowder and a manipulator who is like trying to kind of play around with your emotions. And yeah, that competition is not fun. It's not sexy as well.
No, it's not.
Like
I
nothing
mean, like,
about that is sexy.
some competition, like I said, friendly competition. But when you take it
Yeah,
into
yeah,
that next level, like, oh, I can do this and and be better than you to this, or I can get this many people and do this, do that. That's not. I don't think that's something you should ever even mention. Because
Yeah.
you're competing like, oh, I can go get whoever I want, and it's like what? Like you can't compete like that because that's I think that's competitive too. Like, oh, I look good, so I'm gonna do this, I want to do that. And in reality, it's like, yeah, you could be competing out there, but then somebody can be really hurting you if you with this competing shit.
Mm. Yeah, you actually have a good point. Yeah, but there's like actually, because when I read it, I was like, well, yeah, I kind of met those people at some point, but like, I don't actually, you have it on the bottom. Love it. But there's nothing much to say about it, to be precise, honestly. But it is definitely not healthy. And can you imagine, like, because that was like what reached my mind when I read about it. It was like, okay, so he's a competitor. Will he be competitive in sex as well? He's like, I'm first, and I'm just like,
I did
okay,
this first.
I win. I came first. I was like, so I don't have to come at all now. That would cross my mind as well because again, sex is very important part of a relationship, especially in our age. Like we're not 70, so that's one of the things that we do well. I hope all of you guys, but yeah, this it's just unhealthy and also like kind of puts it off. Like not even like not only sex mode, but like relationship mode at all. I'm just like, why? You're supposed to
Yeah,
be on my side, not like against. Even like Olympic people, like we having like Olympics now, and even Olympics people there, like they've been training their whole life for that, and they're still a team.
yeah,
Because like there's supposed to be one winner and one loser, but not in a relationship. In a relationship, this is where we have priorities to be both winning on the
yeah,
same team.
yeah.
So
And I mean, sometimes you do lose, but y'all lose together, if anything.
exactly, yeah. So okay, what another type? So
So the next one, this one's crazy. Like, it's the binge drinker, right?
so Decory was like from the bottom.
Yes, that's me drinking from the bottle. And like the binge drinker, if you guys like your partner's drinking every day or like every other weekend, you only get to see them sober once a weekend. How do you know you have a connection or anything, if they're drinking every
Mm.
day? So this one, I kind of feel like it can't, it's like a toxic thing, but I can't really blame it on toxicity for being a drunk. If you get what I mean,
Mm.
like some people really have problems where that's their escape. It's not the best avenue for escape.
Okay, you mean alcoholism or functional alcoholism? Because that's the second one is me. No, I think this is where toxicity comes in, where a person, because we as I said, like we're all young, we all started like by going out, having dinner, grabbing drinks, right, and like in the
Yeah, no,
party
that's
mode,
fine.
let's say that, right, especially like after this whole like year, like 2 years almost, like on and off with lockdowns and everything. So as much as we can go out, where we just go and like party because we kind of missed it, not kind of, we
Yeah,
missed
yeah.
it a lot.
Yes.
But then there's still a point where that's what I make fun of me, because when I look through it and when you mention it, I was like, well, I kind of drink every day ish, but you still
But
can catch me sober.
yeah, no,
I
you
hope.
don't drink to the point where you're drunk as fuck like every day.
Oh hell no, 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 no.
Yeah.
That scares me. But
So
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like it falls into like two things. It can be toxic and it can be something that's like
Hmm.
deep line issues.
When it always goes to the point where you are just always drinking together, or like even that person just drink by himself or herself, it's kind of like though I
I
did like how this, sorry, go ahead.
I would say like if I think back to like one of my relationships is that I was the binge drinker. Like during the week I wouldn't drink. Like we'll work. I'll work, come home and that's all my time was with my partner, with her or whatever. So the weekend I would get fucked up and it was like I felt so bad for her because I'd be just like laying down, throwing up everywhere.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
But then again, this is like only the weekend. This is like your way of relaxation, right? But we talking about
yeah.
like toxic is when like every single day.
No, but it got so toxic. It's like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't even like, oh, I planned the date, but I couldn't do nothing because I was so fucked up. I'm
What do you
throwing
think
up.
was that though? Were you
I
bored
think
in a relationship, or you were going through something by yourself, like inside of you?
I was going through something. Like I'm always going through something, and it's like hard to even let people know to tell. Like I could tell you
Right.
some things, but some things I'm just like, I just want to just forget about it. And I think about like, okay, I just want to have fun and get drunk. But then I think about what Kanye West said in one of his songs, what's worse, the pain or the hangover? Because you gonna still have the hangover, or you have the hangover and the pain the next day from, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I think I was just going down a path where I was just like, you know, I wanted to forget everything, so I would just get super fucking drunk and didn't
Mhm.
care about anything. And
That's what I heard from like a couple concerned people that were concerned about me drinking. Uh, but they were just like, I'm concerned about you drinking. You trying to, like drink your problems away. I was like, actually, no, because whenever I drink, I still remember my problems. I just deal with them. And this is not how I deal with problems. This is how I take my time, I would say, to deal with problems. And then I'm still gonna deal with it, like regardless.
yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
still a
I
me.
do believe that it's easier to deal with it without hangover for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it just something to be concerned about, definitely. And especially like if you're not a drinker yourself, it is something that, whoa. Because for me, like I grew up in not really cool environment at some point, and for me, like heavy drinkers, aggressive heavy drinkers, let's say that, could lead to a many multiple things that are ugly and horrifying. And this is what I'm staying away from, because like drinking should be fun, but when it
Yeah.
goes to this abusive, aggressive kind of way, it's a no. So and with I think with like binge drinker, it's more like it's fun, but then again, have you ever seen that person sober?
Yeah, and like you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who's always fucking drunk. It's just
Otherwise,
like,
what kind of relationship is that?
and
Like,
that's why
is
I
this
look
even
back
a
at like
relationship?
that's what I was. I was always, well, on the weekends I was always drunk. But I kind of calmed down with that now. Like I barely drink now. Like, I would drink, but I don't try to get drunk. And then when I do drink, I get drunk because I don't drink a lot. That
Yeah.
that whole little dynamic. Yeah.
I
So
always catch myself getting drunk where I forget to eat dinner. And I'm just
yeah,
like, I'm just fucked out. That's the worst hangover because I just don't have any food to help me out. And I'm just like, fuck
yeah. Like if I'm out with my friends, I'm like, yeah, man, fuck it, let's get drunk. If I'm out with a girl, let's get drunk. It's just like that's how I don't know. That's how it was. But now I'm like, I'll drink a little bit, but I drive everywhere now, so now I don't like drinking and driving.
that.
That's my thing.
See, this is why I don't drive. But I also don't get like shit faced, every weekend. I don't even get shit faced every weekend. Damn, I'm getting old. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's good or bad, but yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, next one.
the next one is on you.
The abuser. Unfortunately, I cannot believe like it's 2021 and we still like even bringing it up. And what I wanted to say is that when we hear like the abuser, like the word abuse, we usually think like 95% of the time we think physical abuse. However, we do not talk enough about mental abuse as well, emotional abuse, which is also a huge part of us because we now finally talk about mental health. Not enough, but at least we start talking about it. And then when it comes to relationship, we kind of sweep it like under the rug and not talk about emotional abuse as much as we should have, um, as we talk about physical abuse. Because again, if a person even gives you the vibe that they could get like nasty, abusive, and physical, like run like a fucking track star on the Olympics, run, because that shit is horrifying. I mean, we all seen and remembered Rihanna's domestic abuse by Chris Brown and stuff. So that I don't know, it's just hard even to even imagine that. I've never been through physical abuse, but it just horrifies even the thought about it. And the minute you feel that okay, that person probably could have hit me, regardless, woman or man, in a relationship you are, just that's it. This is where you have to draw the line with any like any toxic relation, but this one it goes like beyond because it's physical and it's fucked up.
Yeah. So I can say like I've been in some relationships where it got physical. Not on my end. I don't hit women, and it got emotionally abusive. I know a lot of men don't talk about it, but hey, fuck it. It's the Gossip Wine podcast, and I'm gonna say what I feel. I've been in relationships where it's just like constant like belittling you. Um, I had a woman tell me that I wasn't enough for her. Like I would do so much for her. She was like, "Oh, you're not enough," like she would just talk crazy shit to me, and I didn't
Bro.
understand it, and it made me feel less of a man. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, like I remember just like because she used to live like 5 hours away from me, right? Every weekend I would go drive or fly, catch a train, do something to get to this girl, right? Do so much for this girl, but she was just like, "Oh, you're not like this, you're not like this." And it just like the cycle just like until like one day I just like snapped because she just kept yelling at me. And I like threw her shit out my room. But then I let her back in and then she like it was so much stuff like where she like hit me and I'm like, yo, don't put your fucking hands on me because I can't put my hands on you either. Um and I'm gonna say with women will test their their boundaries when it comes to this. Let me slap the shit out of this man and see what he does because I feel like that's what women do. Knowing me, and I don't want to lose my not all women, but
Let's say
certain.
toxic women.
Yeah, we'll say toxic women. I say like I give you an example of why one time I got hit, and it was just in
By
public.
her.
This was in public. We were
Mm,
all out
I'm sorry. In what?
in public, in public.
I need her address. I'm gonna fuck the bitch. Fuck her up.
No, we was all out with friends, and I was living in Japan at the time,
Okay.
and like I was out with friends, and there was a girl I used to talk to. I was with my friends and the girl that I used to be with, and this girl I used to talk to came in the club, and I was like, "Fuck," and she kept trying to talk to me. I was like, "Look, it's a bad idea if you try to talk to me because my girlfriend might beat your ass, and I don't want no parts of this." Bet. And she just kept trying. And my girlfriend seen her and hit her and blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, why the fuck was you talking to that bitch? I was like, I told her to get away. And she like threw her drink in my face and slapped the shit out of me. And I was like, and then she kept hitting me. And at this point, I'm like, everybody's looking at me to do something. And like, cause I'm like, fuck, I can't hit this girl. So I just walk away. But it just kept getting hit. And I'm like, and then outside it was more. And then like behind closed doors, it was more too. And I'm like, look, you keep putting your fucking hands on me. And if I hit you, it's gonna be bad because first of all, I'm a
You're
man.
huge though.
Huh?
You're big.
Yeah, yeah. And it was like if I hit you, I might like literally leave a bruise on you. And then what? I'm black. You hit me, it's no bruising. Like
Right.
unless you hit me really hard. But it it's just not cool. I'm gonna tell you, like, men do get abused, but they don't talk about it because they feel less of a man. And like I said, I've been in emotionally and physically abused by women. And it's like it's hard to speak about it. Like I mean, I feel bad speaking about it now, but
Right.
like I said it's one of those things where it happens and it's not cool. Like I think once somebody put their hands on you and then it makes you feel different about them, about everything. Like you can still love that person, you can still want to be with that person, but it's always like it makes you in the back of your mind, it's like, yo, I don't feel the same because that's one part of me that I can't get back. Like the certainty of you not hitting me. Now I'm gonna think about it every time I see your hand come up, like, is she gonna hit me or am I gonna have to defend myself? And if I defend myself, I'm in trouble, you know? So that falls with physical and mental because you're thinking like mentality is like, fuck, you thinking also I can't defend myself or I can defend myself, but what's gonna happen?
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, see, actually, what you've described, I'm sorry you went through that, and no one, regardless of their gender identity, should go through that in general. and those people who actually put other people to go through the any type of abuse are fuckheads, and fuck them. And yeah, I wish they tasted their own medicine, which they probably did. This is how they're like the way they are, which is not an excuse because we always have a choice. I'm sorry you went
Yeah,
through that though, and I really
yeah. Just to
appreciate
cut
you
in what
sharing
you,
it.
yeah,
It's
just
like,
to cut in what you said is like because some women have been abused, so they lash out on their new partner. So that was one of the things that the
no,
girl
it's
there.
like it's not really like that precisely for women, I would say, because women who've been abused physically are like there's no worth whatsoever inside of their minds, and they are what you've described is actually described by women as well, where they just like they brush the hair and you just like they're gonna hit me, so it's a free it turns into fucking reflex of getting abused, and it's just like always like on the watch out, like what's gonna happen, right? And then it's just crazy, and then come out of that state or even leave the relationship for women even more um difficult, right? Because as you said, if you're gonna hit her, right, you're gonna get in trouble. If women will try to hit back, she doesn't have a chance probably to survive with the actual abuser who beats the shit out of her. There's no physical chance. This is why I will not stop repeating where guys talk about feminism, that we want equality. We will never be physically equal because we're fucking different, okay?
Mhm.
You can beat the shit out of us, we can bear children and push it out of vaginas. So it's a whole different type of world. So like we just want to be fucking happy, and take control of our own like lives and bodies, and that's what it means. However, as much as I always, very sad to hear those stories, and it goes deep to the level where it's like hard for me to talk. I'm nearly crying and stuff. But what you've mentioned is that you were in the club and this girl tried to talk to you. And this is where my respect for human beings and women here, especially in this particular situation, just drops behind like below 100, right? Because if you bitch know that he's taken, the fuck you putting your even like action in, and then if she sees you talking to a girl, both of you are not right, but like if you're not doing anything illegal, talking is also not cheating. The fuck, well, in person if you can see. Okay, that's that went for many levels, but my point is like where women do not respect other women, and this is where this like situation happened, where you somehow were getting abused between something that women couldn't, share or agreed on.
And the thing was though, is like everybody know that I told the girl to get away from me. Like there's like,
Yeah,
yo,
and
she
even the
told her.
girl, she knew, like she heard you say that, but she never backed out. This is where, like, this is where my disrespect comes in. I was like, why? I mean, Decory, don't get me wrong. You're a hot piece of ass. You're really good. You're funny. You're cool, an awesome person, right? But then, like women just do this to each other all the time, and it just annoys me. And I don't know. I just,
Yeah, I mean that was just an example. I mean, it was one example. It was more instances, but I mean, I don't
yeah.
really want to talk about them.
Yeah,
But
but actually that was a good example that covers a lot of things that you guys go through as men and do not even share enough, where I would say on women and emotional abuse is also like just covered like, oh, I just want the best for you, and no, you bitch not, you just won't see the best version of me that suits you. And this is where insecurity shit comes through, if you don't if you cannot handle that bitch, fuck off. Like, you want the idea of it, but you cannot handle it. If I'm posting, like, I don't know if you guys saw, I posted this like picture on Instagram with like my side boob, covered nipple and everything. The picture is fucking hot. And this is where like a whole like um conversation went on, like whether I'm feeling myself or asking for attention. And then if I would be in a relationship, would it be okay for me post those things? And a lot of guys said like, no, like I want a piece of you to just to myself. But like, how is that affecting anyone? People wank on my pictures, even full closed, all the time.
So this is falling
Unfortunately,
into
unfortunately, they don't feel shame to share about it. So this is how I know. But they do it regardless.
so
So
this is falling into the
yep,
insecurity.
go ahead, Decor.
Yeah, so like she was claiming, like she explained, like insecure people will be jealous and blame you of stuff like, oh, you're doing this for this, you're doing that for that. It's one of those things like, I mean, I guess insecurity can be, sexy sometimes when it's a little bit of jealousy, but when you
Yeah,
carry
yeah, yeah.
insecurity,
Kind of spice it up, a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. Yeah, but when you carry insecurity from like past relationships and stack it onto new insecurities and other
Yeah.
insecurities,
Okay, let's
it,
let's draw the line though there. So a little jealousy could be sexy.
yeah,
But when it oversteps to like level of jealousy, when it goes
to
and you can
insecurity.
tell behind all of the jealousy are insecurities, this is where it
Mhm.
becomes toxic.
Yeah, and insecurities, I feel like I put it like this. People can say that, oh, you made me have these insecurities, but you had these insecurities before you met me.
And you know
You
how
know,
we get them? Through emotional abuse.
well, I wouldn't say,
It's a whole fucking toxic circle.
yeah, but I mean, I feel like some people have insecurities that they say that they're over and they're not really over it, you know?
Unfortunately, what I've discovered within myself personally is that those insecurities like kind of never go away. You can
Yeah,
overcome them and you can be like fucking great. That's what I've experienced a couple weeks back. I've been fucking amazing. I'll be like on my A game, doing all these things, like living my best life. And then at one point, when I thought I was like on the top, I was like, yeah, I'm winning, like my like mental health is better than any time before. And then just one drop of like just emotional let's say exhaustion, right? It just put me like below, like I don't know, below the surface, 100 degrees below the surface, where I literally cried myself to sleep.
mhm,
And I was like, how did I went from this high to this low in a second? Well, okay, it wasn't a second probably, but still, like it's super hard, and that is a constant work, daily work.
yeah,
And beside all the other work that you have, right, like on a daily basis, like as a, I don't know, part of society or whatever, community.
yeah.
uh
And for me, I was gonna say like I can always say, yeah, I'm over my insecurities, but I'm not deep down. Like my thing is I don't vocalize them as much as like I used to.
mm,
Like I can say like, oh man, I don't like this stuff, I'm
why not?
insecure about it. Huh?
Why not?
Because I don't want to seem like a person who's gonna sit here and like, damn girl, I don't like when you do this. I don't like, I don't want to complain about every single thing because I've been that person where I complained about everything. I'm like,
Right.
oh, I don't think you should be doing this. I don't think you should be doing that. And then I'm like, you know what? I got to the point where I matured and said, if you're gonna do it, I can't stop you regardless of me telling you not to do it or anything. It's your free will. You're gonna do it, right?
Mm.
So I have my insecurities, but I'll mention like, I don't really care for stuff like that. I don't like it. But if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. And I can't, that's something that sometimes you have to deal with, especially when you're in a relationship, everybody has to make their compromises.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to deal with something that you're insecure with, and sometimes you don't. Not saying you always have to, but if you really want to be with that person, you're going to do something to make that right or
Well, yeah,
to
even
go
even
overcome
like
it.
if you want to be alone and okay with your loneliness, like
Yeah.
not loneliness, but like okay with you being alone, you have to still work on them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like regardless because like we all that's what I say, we all have them. If you embrace them, good for you, but like embracing is not enough. You have to work on them as well for
Yeah.
yourself, not for like even because like again, even to be in a relationship, but like even before you step into a relationship, this is what something you have to be okay with. Be okay with your fucking self. Otherwise,
Yeah.
if you cannot love yourself, how the hell like you gonna love somebody else, or somebody else will gonna even
Thank
love
you.
you? So
So, like how you said with the picture thing, like my thing is like if I had a girlfriend, she's posting all these pictures. It doesn't really bother me. It's not that I don't give a fuck. It just doesn't bother me because I know I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, she's with me, she's coming home to me, or
right.
she's living with me at the end of the day, and I feel like if a woman, like we said this in I mean, I think first season, even the second season, I'm like, if a woman looks sexy and you can't deal with your woman being sexy, you shouldn't be with her. You know what I'm saying? That's an insecurity on yourself as a man. You should be like, I know my woman's bad. So she's showing the world that she's bad. And I want to show the world that she's bad, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's one insecurity that people have. And that falls into social media, which I don't give a fuck about social media. But it falls into social media, you
But
know?
there is like something, when you like post a story, post a post, like it gives the idea for other women, right? Because for instance, like I would like come across your page. I don't know if you're single or not, right? Because you're not posting anything with her, not like posts like of loves or whatever, but like I'm not sure. So I'm gonna get my shot on, right? If I'm interested.
Mhm.
And then I don't want to get myself in an awkward situation because not like zero people deal well with rejection in this world, right? So I don't want to get myself in a position of that. And then it kind of means a lot because like as much as we don't care about social media, but it does stands for something now because it's a huge part of our lives, right?
Yeah, but think about
And
when it wasn't.
um,
Think about when it wasn't, how much easier stuff was.
I know.
Like, I mean, I know people don't like rejection, but it's the hard truth. Like, so say if I slid into some girl's DM and she's like, "Oh, I have a boyfriend," I'm like, "Bet." I'm not gonna get mad at her. The people just have to understand that not everybody's available. You can
Yeah,
let
but
them.
like this thing, I wouldn't
It
even like
depends on how you reject them too.
I wouldn't even read the fucking message. Like I wouldn't even reply to it. I would be
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
especially like if it's a DM, like if a person like talks to me, obviously like, directly like face to face, yeah. But then yeah, DMs are just like, kind of ignorable because like, I mean,
yeah, you can
whatever.
ignore them or you can delete them. It is what it is. That's what I do. I delete DMs if it's something that I'm like, yo, I don't know who you are, and you're trying to shoot your shot at me. No.
But bro, you back to the streets now, so
I'm an associate of the streets. Like, yo, I'm
I'm
chilling.
not back to the streets because I am the streets, yeah. Yeah.
I'm just
I
chilling. I'm
mean,
chilling.
let's face it, like you and me, we're kind of have a coalition, like, and I don't know, trademark on the street.
Yeah, we always talk about the streets, the streets. Yeah, but let's we'll say that for another episode. We got to get back into this insecurity
Yep.
thing. Like,
But you
what
guys, you're gonna love the episode. Oh my god, this is gonna be so fun. But yeah, that's
I
pretty
was
much
gonna.
it though that we covered though today on the
Well, no,
topic.
I got something else to ask you.
Fuck you and your questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got something to ask you. So, if like, how many insecurities do you think you have, and can you name like at least three?
Fuck you, Decory.
Hey, I'll name some too. I mean, but I'll let you go first.
Okay. So my therapy session goes live on the podcast now.
Let's
Okay.
go.
um okay, insecurities are definitely not being worthy. I would need to pour some wine for that shit. Um See, I mean, not being worthy, and I'll get like actually I can go deep into that. So my insecurity of not worthy goes through very, very, very early childhood, and not because my parents or whatever, like family, were like abusive. My family is amazing. I love them all. They're my fucking rock, and nothing is better than my parents and my grandparents, right? However, I, as a child, was born with a heart defect, and then when I was 10 months old, I had a surgery on my heart, like you can see scar here, and it goes to like here or something. So, uh, and somehow I grew up with the idea that if I was like born with a defect, I'm not actually worthy to be in this world. And that kind of fucks up a lot with my head, but I'm working through it. And thanks to COVID, I actually got myself into therapy, and I'm working through that. And I'm like, I'm worthy, I'm enough, and stuff. Um, Second one is, which is connected to that, based on my experience with dudes, where guys just like cheating, regardless of how awesome you are, how hot you are, they just cheat. And that also like it a lot hits on your self-esteem, which kind of goes lower, and it's very hard to reconnect with the higher self,
Mhm.
self-esteem, where you are fucking star, right? Because I am. The third one, the third one, insecurity is my belly. It's a physical thing. I will just be there. Yeah, I don't like my belly, but But I
Okay.
don't like it. I don't like it, but I love it, because it kind of has like all my organs inside. So I'm very appreciative of that, because it's like not. So yeah, I think that like on top of my head, and those are like just main ones that cause a lot of my problems. And yeah, what about you?
Mines are gonna sound crazy because it's like I don't know. I always think this, but
Why
um,
mine were like typical or something? Yeah, mine were
no,
typical.
no, no, no. Yours is good. Yours is good. But I think some of the things I might say might shock you. But um, I think one of my insecurities is like one of yours is not being enough for people, or like people are. It's I think it's just not being enough because I felt when I was growing up that I wasn't enough. Like I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't this enough. Because people thought that I was like
Yeah, I can relate to that.
yeah, because people thought I was like slow, and I'm like, yo, you think that? I just don't. I just because I'm like smiling, I'm always laughing, making jokes and everything. So
Mm.
so
And
that's
it's because I'm blonde and have big boobs. Well, I wasn't blonde, but I'm a girl and I have big boobs. So you just hot. Just be hot.
so that one. Two would be my belly. I'm trying to get some abs. I always think like I'm fat, but I'm like, no, I don't think I'm fat. I just need to, shape up a little bit more. That's two
You
for
know
me.
what I
But
say? We all have abs. They're just covered. They're
yeah,
undercover.
yeah, they're hiding right now. They're hiding. And I don't know. I always like when I go to the beach, I'm like, man, everybody got abs, and I don't got no abs. I just feel so stupid at that point. And
with
then
belly.
like, huh?
With belly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't really have a belly, but I don't know.
Mm.
But so my last one is like, I think it's my I don't think so. This sounds crazy as fuck. So when I was younger, I used to just get called ugly all the time, right? Just
Yeah, I
ugly,
remember
ugly.
that.
So that's one of my insecurities. I'm like, damn. I look in the mirror, I'm like, fuck. I don't even want to go outside. I'm so damn ugly. like
Aw.
I fucked myself up with this, and I'm like,
Hey.
man, I can't. I
This
can't.
is literally what every woman feels at least once a week. So congrats. You're not alone.
Hey,
Trust me.
hey, I'm not alone. Hey, I'm with y'all. Shit. Yeah, and I think that, and then just like I said, not being enough. I think the number one thing is not being enough for somebody. Like somebody's telling me that I'm not this, or I don't do this, that, and it just like fucks me up. It's an insecurity.
Which is like very weird. Like that's what I've been talking couple days ago actually. Recently again. So it's funny how we feel like we're not enough for some stranger, right? Where we're perfectly enough for our family, our friends, our co-hosts, So it's very weird how I would call it like a disease of like social media time where strangers put those insecurities on us where we don't even have to first of all believe them, yet somehow we do believe them a lot for no reason.
And that's like those fairy tale relationships on Instagram. Like, oh, this person's doing this person's doing that. And it causes insecurity in somebody who can't like match up to that. Especially like I could put it like this. Like, say if you got a girlfriend or boyfriend, they're watching TikTok or Instagram, they're like, damn, look at this couple traveling here, and there, and you can't afford it. So it's like gonna give you like, damn, you want to
Yeah.
keep up with them, you know?
Yeah, but like I also this is why since we got on TikTok, I like to see those like, fights or pranks, where people are just like actually showing like either super toxic shit and you're just like, whoa. Or like
Yeah.
very fun, just like someone left the boot and the girl sits in, she sees the boot, she starts laughing. She's like, who the fuck do you fuck? I was like, if you're not fucking like it's just a whole thing. And definitely I don't understand why we even listen to strangers or even like people that we met, right, that we, I don't know, vibe with or like them on some level, girls or guys. Why we even like get those strangers the power, like not even like a piece of power, we give them like 100 fucking percent of power to reflect on how we should feel about ourselves.
Yeah.
And this is where it's so fucked up, because like I have my family, I have my friends, I have my whole life of 30 fucking years before I even met a motherfucker, and now
Yeah.
this motherfucker gonna dictate me how I
Facts.
feel worth enough
Yes.
to live my life. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, no, but we don't say no enough.
No, that's facts.
We're just like, oh my god, but he's so perfect. Oh my god, you know, and I'm not good enough for him. Like, no, bitch, you are. And if the person doesn't want to be with you, there's nothing you can do. I mean, Rihanna is a bad bitch. still got physically abused, unfortunately. But then she got her shit together and she didn't want that to be the only thing that reflects on her. Now she's fucking billionaire. And
Yeah,
I contributed to her.
Beyonce. I look at
I
it too. Like,
contributed to her billions, by buying all the products.
look at it. Beyonce got cheated on. You know, his real
Exactly. So
shit.
we got cheating on. So like no matter how hot you are,
Yeah,
it's still like about people, like personalities and mental things that going inside of like every single person. And as you said, you guys also do not express that much insecurities as you should have, just not as like, oh, I'm insecure, I'm just like that. No, like this is what bothers me because of that. You have to understand yourself in order to even be able to express yourself or explain yourself to someone that you really like, for them to
yeah,
understand you and work on together and build something together. Or again, like start something, maybe you learn from each other, something, and then go separate ways. Either way, you cannot fucking forget about your worth. Just always fucking remember that you've been great for like your lifetime and you survived so many things. So whenever people come and go and tell you shit, it cannot reflect you. People tell me I'm selfish. Am I selfish? Yeah. Am I selfish to the point where I know people are selfish and I'm calling them selfish? I was like, no. But you still work on that. But we all
yeah.
humans, we cannot be perfect, or like, as I said, on like every single day, every single minute of the day on our A game. It's impossible.
And everybody's selfish to a certain degree. You know, it's like you have to protect yourself, or you have to build yourself up, and you
Yep.
have to like look out for yourself, and then you can look out for others. So that I don't really like. It depends. There's levels of selfish, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time.
Yeah,
You know.
I agree with that. This one came out like somehow about toxic relationship and went really fast to like insecurities, very personal one. Decory, I blame it on you. So
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about insecurities in the insecure one. So I've been insecure in a relationship, and I've been with people that's insecure. So it was all toxic all together. You know.
motherfucker, you asked me before, like, am I toxic? Now you ask me about insecurities. Are you making like FBI profile on me or something?
I do.
No, like, yeah, it's actually been great. Like, I don't think I've ever shared it like with anyone like who's not
Yeah, I
close to
never.
me. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
never really put that out there like that. But
it feels
you know,
good.
it did. But
Yeah. Yep.
that's the show, though. You know.
Yeah. I think like we're just like within like this third season, we're actually like really growing, like, exploring like very deep topic within ourselves. And I think it's very cool that um none of us and nor our guests like kind of afraid to like share that. And it's super cool where I mean it's super raw at this point now.
Yeah, super raw. Like
But we're not
it's
gonna change the name, please no.
nah,
But yeah, I think that was a good one and it's a wrap.
it's a
For
wrap.
sure. I don't want to talk about my insecurities anymore. So I'm just like bored.
And so what we want you guys to do is like, subscribe, hit that follow button. You know, RSS, Apple, YouTube. Hit us up. Follow us on Instagram. You know, we're there. You know, and we would love more guests. If you got friends, you know that are professionals in some field, especially like psychology, we would love to talk to them. Bring them on the show. You know, hook us up. You know, keep pumping content out.
Yeah. We are growing slowly, but we are consistent and we have our faith, and we also have donate button. So if you guys on YouTube or RSS, uh, please not forget to tap in. And if you feel like a bit generous, go ahead and donate to the podcast so we don't have to struggle with our own money. But yeah, anyways, that was the Gossip Line podcast. It was part 2 of toxic relationship types. And as the course said, hit notification button, subscribe, and listen to us. That was it.
And we're out.
We are okay. I'm gonna cut the shit out. What the fuck is that?
That was